Welcome to FlyEaglesFly News, where Eagles fans get the latest, fastest, and hottest updates. Hit subscribe and fly high with us. The atmosphere around Buffalo suddenly feels heavier, almost suffocating, as whispers and nervous conversations begin to dominate the narrative surrounding the Bills. Behind closed doors, there is a growing sense of unease. A feeling that something has shifted in the balance just hours before this highly anticipated clash. Insiders close to the situation suggest that the Bills camp was caught off guard by a late update that dramatically altered the emotional temperature of the matchup. This is not about tactics drawn on whiteboards or standard per-game bravado. This is about momentum, confidence, and the psychological edge that so often defines battles at the highest level. While the Bills try to project calm and control, sources hint at internal concern, especially regarding how the opposing side appears unusually locked in. The Eagles, according to these same whispers, have been operating with a sense of clarity and unity that has not gone unnoticed. Every practice rep, every closed meeting, every sideline interaction reportedly carries an intensity that suggests a team ready to impose itself physically and mentally. This contrast is fueling speculation that the Bills are scrambling internally, reassessing plans and attempting to counter an energy shift they did not anticipate. The word circulating quietly is panic, not the loud kind, but the subtle tension that seeps into preparation when confidence begins to crack. What makes this situation even more intriguing is how suddenly the narrative has turned. Just recently, the Bills were widely perceived as comfortable, confident, and in control of their destiny. Now, however, the tone around the organization feels different. There are murmurs of rushed meetings, extended film sessions, and last-minute adjustments that suggest a reaction rather than a carefully planned strategy. Meanwhile, the Eagles are being described as calm, focused, and aggressive in their mindset. People close to that locker room talk about a team that smells opportunity and intends to seize it without hesitation. The Eagles' preparation is being framed as meticulous and relentless, with coaches and players aligned around a single objective: to come out swinging and never let up. This is not a team waiting to see how the game unfolds. This is a team determined to dictate every moment from the opening snap. The Bills, on the other hand, are rumored to be questioning matchups and second-guessing assumptions they previously felt good about. In the world of professional football, that mental hesitation can be deadly. It creates openings, and the Eagles are believed to be fully aware of that vulnerability. Another layer to this unfolding drama lies in how both fan bases are reacting to the sudden shift in perception. In Buffalo, anxiety is beginning to creep into conversations that were once filled with optimism. Social circles and media spaces buzz with concern about whether the Bills are truly ready for the storm that appears to be coming. The Eagles, conversely, are generating a wave of confidence that borders on swagger. Supporters and analysts alike are pointing to how prepared and unified the team looks, suggesting that everything is aligning at exactly the right moment. This confidence is not built on flashy promises, but on a sense that the Eagles have quietly addressed weaknesses and sharpened their strengths. Rumors indicate that the coaching staff has emphasized physical dominance and relentless pressure, intending to overwhelm the Bills before they can settle into any rhythm. That approach, if executed as described, could explain why there is growing panic on the other side. When one team senses it will be attacked relentlessly, doubt can creep in, even among seasoned professionals. From a broader perspective, this situation highlights how fragile confidence can be in elite sports. One update, one shift in preparation, one perceived advantage can ripple through an entire organization. The Bills are said to be feeling that ripple now. There is talk of leaders within the team trying to steady the ship, reminding everyone of their identity and resilience. Still, the underlying tension remains. The Eagles' readiness is being portrayed almost as intimidating, a force that cannot be ignored or easily neutralized. This has led to speculation that Buffalo's staff is considering more conservative approaches, perhaps to weather the initial storm. If true, that alone suggests a psychological concession, an admission that the Eagles might strike first and hardest. In contrast, Philadelphia's camp appears energized by the idea of imposing its will early, feeding off any sign of hesitation. This dynamic sets the stage for a clash where mental toughness could be just as important as physical execution. As the hours tick down, the rumor mill continues to churn, amplifying every glance, every quote, every subtle sign of emotion. Observers note how the Eagles players reportedly carry themselves with a quiet confidence, speaking less but moving with purpose. That body language is being interpreted as a signal that preparation has been thorough and belief is strong. The Bills, however, are under a microscope. With every action scrutinized for signs of stress, even routine movements are being overanalyzed, contributing to the narrative of a team under pressure. Whether this panic is real or exaggerated remains to be seen, but perception itself can influence reality. If the Eagles truly believe they are better prepared and ready to attack relentlessly, that belief can translate into faster reactions and sharper execution. The Bills, sensing that wave coming, must find a way to anchor themselves emotionally. Until then, speculation will continue to paint a picture of contrasting mindsets, one calm and aggressive, the other cautious and uneasy. Ultimately, this developing story is less about playbooks and more about belief. The Eagles are being framed as a team that knows exactly who it is and what it wants to do, while the Bills are portrayed as wrestling with doubt introduced at the worst possible moment. That contrast is what fuels the panic narrative in the unforgiving world of professional football. Belief can be the difference between seizing control and losing it. Right now, all signs point to Philadelphia holding that edge, at least in the psychological battle leading up to the opening moments. The second wave of speculation dives even deeper into the psychological warfare unfolding between these two franchises, and the tension seems to grow with every passing moment. Sources suggest that the Eagles are not just prepared physically, but emotionally primed to exploit any sign of weakness. Their internal messaging is rumored to revolve around striking early, setting a tone of aggression that leaves no room for comfort. This approach, according to insiders, is intentional and calculated, designed to rattle an opponent already dealing with unexpected uncertainty. The Bills, by contrast, are rumored to be focusing heavily on damage control, emphasizing composure and patience. While those qualities are admirable, the sudden need to reinforce them raises eyebrows. It implies that the team senses danger, that it feels the momentum tilting away from its favor in elite competition. Sensing that shift can be unsettling. The Eagles, sensing blood in the water, appear eager to turn that discomfort into a decisive advantage through relentless pressure and confidence. What amplifies this narrative is the belief that the Eagles have reached a level of cohesion that makes them particularly dangerous in moments like this. Players reportedly trust the system and each other implicitly, creating an environment where aggression feels natural rather than forced. This unity allows them to play fast and free, a combination that can overwhelm even the most talented opponents. The Bills, meanwhile, are said to be grappling with internal questions about adaptability. There is talk of whether their initial plan can withstand the storm that Philadelphia intends to unleash. This internal debate, happening so close to kickoff, is what fuels the idea of panic. It is not chaos, but hesitation, and hesitation can be exploited. The Eagles' preparation is being framed as a weapon in itself, a source of confidence that allows them to push boundaries and challenge assumptions. In contrast, the Bills are rumored to be bracing rather than attacking, a subtle but important distinction. Another angle being discussed revolves around leadership and how it manifests under pressure. The Eagles' leaders are described as calm but assertive, reinforcing a message of dominance without unnecessary noise. This style resonates with a team that feels ready to back up its confidence with action. The Bills' leaders, on the other hand, are rumored to be working overtime to reassure teammates, a task that suggests underlying concern. While leadership in adversity is admirable, the timing of this reassurance feeds the narrative that something is off. Fans and commentators alike speculate that the Eagles sense this and intend to capitalize on it immediately. The idea is simple: apply pressure early, force mistakes, and never allow the Bills to regain emotional balance. Whether this strategy will unfold as rumored is uncertain, but the belief that it could is enough to shape expectations. The environment surrounding the matchup only intensifies these perceptions. Every comment from the Eagles camp is dissected for confidence, every silence interpreted as focus. Meanwhile, every word from Buffalo is examined for hints of doubt. This asymmetry in perception can become self-reinforcing, creating a storyline that takes on a life of its own. The Eagles are being cast as hunters, fully prepared and eager to strike, while the Bills are portrayed as reacting, adjusting, and hoping to withstand the initial onslaught. Such narratives, even if exaggerated, can influence how players feel as they step onto the field. Confidence can sharpen instincts, while doubt can slow reactions. This psychological dimension is what makes the current speculation so compelling and, for Bills supporters, so concerning. As discussions continue, Some observers point out that panic is often invisible from the inside. Teams rarely admit to it, and players may not even consciously feel it, yet it can manifest in small ways, like overthinking assignments or hesitating for a split second. The Eagles' readiness, as rumored, seems designed to exploit precisely those moments. Their preparation reportedly emphasizes speed, aggression, and decisiveness, qualities that thrive when an opponent is uncertain. This contrast feeds the belief that Philadelphia holds a mental edge that could prove decisive. The Bills' challenge, according to this narrative, is to rediscover their confidence quickly and resist being swept up in the moment. Whether they can do that remains an open question, and that uncertainty is what keeps the rumor alive in the end. This speculative storyline underscores how fragile the balance of power can be in high-stakes football. One late update, one perceived shift in readiness, can transform confidence into concern. The Eagles are being portrayed as the beneficiaries of that shift, a team ready to attack with conviction and intensity. The Bills, meanwhile, are depicted as facing an unexpected test of their mental resilience until the action unfolds. These rumors will continue to swirl, shaping expectations and emotions on both sides. What is clear is that the psychological battle has already begun, and right now, the Eagles appear to be winning it in the court of public perception. FlyEaglesFly News family, smash subscribe and hit like. Your support keeps the freshest Philadelphia Eagles updates flying in. Drop your take in the comments and let's talk birds. The speculation refuses to slow down, and now the conversation is drifting toward how momentum before the opening whistle can sometimes feel heavier than anything that happens afterward. Round league circles, there is a growing belief that the Eagles have mastered the art of arriving at moments like this emotionally sharper than their opponents. The preparation is rumored to go beyond schemes and drills, touching something deeper, almost instinctive. Players are described as moving with urgency, speaking with conviction, and carrying themselves like a group that expects resistance but is eager to break it. That expectation alone can change how a team performs. The Bills, meanwhile, are being discussed as a group trying to insulate itself from noise that arrive at the worst possible time. Insiders whisper that the staff is emphasizing trust and patience, urging players not to chase the moment, but to let it come to them. Still, the contrast is striking. One side appears ready to dictate terms immediately, while the other seems focused on survival and stability. That difference in mindset is what fuels the idea that the Eagles are prepared to go all out, pushing the pace and intensity. From the very beginning, whether fair or not, the rumor paints a picture of a team smelling opportunity and another trying to hold its ground. As the narrative grows, attention has also turned to how pressure can reshape identity in real time. The Bills are known for confidence and explosiveness, yet this sudden cloud of uncertainty has people questioning whether that identity will surface naturally or need to be forced. Forcing confidence, as many former players often say, rarely works. The Eagles, on the other hand, are being portrayed as operating from a place of certainty. They are rumored to know exactly what they want to be and how they want to impose themselves. That clarity is powerful, especially when paired with aggression. Observers suggest that the Eagles intend to test the Bills emotionally as much as physically, probing for cracks and hesitation. Every hit, every rush, every contested moment is expected to carry extra intent. The Bills are rumored to be aware of this approach, which only heightens the tension. Knowing an opponent plans to come at you relentlessly can plant seeds of doubt, even among the most seasoned competitors. This is why the talk of panic persists, not as chaos, but as a quiet internal battle against creeping uncertainty. At this stage, the rumor has almost become a character of its own, shaping how everyone views the matchup before anything tangible happens. Fans, analysts, and insiders are all contributing to a growing sense that the Eagles are arriving with something to prove, and the Bills are arriving with something to protect. That dynamic alone can tilt perception dramatically. The Eagles' readiness is being described as fearless, a willingness to take risks and trust preparation. The Bills' situation is framed as cautious, measured, and reactive. Neither approach guarantees anything, but perception often influences reality in sports. If the Eagles truly believe they are better prepared and ready to strike first, that belief can translate into faster reactions and sharper execution. The Bills, sensing the weight of expectation and speculation, must fight not just an opponent, but a narrative, until that narrative is challenged. The rumor will continue to suggest that the psychological edge belongs to Philadelphia, and that belief, right now, is as powerful as any play drawn on a chalkboard. That's a wrap from FlyEaglesFly News. If you want the fastest Eagles updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Sound off in the comments. Let's talk birds.